If you've dabbled in the hobby of photography, you've probably heard these rules of compositions like rule of thirds, the golden rule. They are important to a certain extent, but for thumbnails, we're just quickly going through it, so they become a little less important. When we look at a video, the first thing we usually see is the center. Naturally, it goes to the center. That's why I'm in the center right now. If your focus point is here, then it really creates a bit of confusion. So that's why most of my thumbnails are centered. Let's go through a few examples. The ones you saw already were the camera one, or me in Japan, also me in that room, or me celebrating. And the reason this works so well, being centered, it's because it creates this symmetry. It creates predictability. Predictability creates clarity, and clarity gives the thumbnail an overall balanced feeling. So I would say most of my thumbnails, if there's only one thing to focus, I would really just put it in the middle. If there's a product, I will put it in the middle, because that's the focus point. That's the first thing most people will look at. Now, all the other composition rules like the golden ratio, the rule of thirds are also useful, but they're more useful for photography, because in photography you stop and look at the frame. And what is the story it's trying to tell in the picture? In YouTube thumbnails, you go like this, really quick. That's why in the middle, it's the best option. Now, if you're focusing on multiple things, for example, this internet cafe versus capsule hotel, you can just split up in the middle and use these two rectangles to tell each one a different story. You can also use the rule of thirds to create balance between the picture if you have multiple things. So if I'm in one of the thirds and something else is here that's to be focused on, then yes, you can use the rule of thirds. For example, in this one where I have this floating white phone, the first thing you look at is maybe the phone because it's closer to the frame, and it pulls into my eyes all the information to the other third. It feels balanced. Nothing feels too tight or too loose like it should be. There are a lot of rules that go into composition. I would say for thumbnails, focus mostly and primarily just being centered and being symmetrical. That makes it really clear. Of course, if you want to show multiple things, then there are other ways to do it. You can use the rule of thirds, or just cut in half and then show two different things. Don't use too much, too complicated. It usually doesn't work out. It becomes confusing pretty quickly. So sticking to the basics, because what people are doing is scrolling quick. That's what most important is. I have a course on composition, a full course on all the rules of composition. Feel free to watch it if you want to learn more about the photography side of things. It helps. But if you're just doing thumbnails and you want to focus on something really simple and that works, then usually center the subject, me or the product or anything. It makes everything much clearer. That's the main rule, I would say, for everyone. I hope you got to understand the importance of positioning anything you want in focus. And with that said, we'll go on to the next lesson, which is the use of text. I'll see you there.